Hello and welcome to So Make. I'm Donna and today I'd like to share with you my new journal page. This is using the new collection from Art by Marlene. This is her new collage book and I'm picking out this lovely archway here. This is her new perfect size journal and I've decided I'm going to create an archway with this. So I'm going to glue that sheet of paper onto a piece of card from the book, so one of the pages in the journal. So I'm just using Marlene's matte media here to glue it all down and make sure that there's no wrinkles in it, and just doing all the corners, making sure the corners are down. And then I'm going to cut this out, so I kind of do a rough cut first just to get that main archway out, and then I go in and kind of just work my way around all the little flowers and try and cut as much detail into that with the leaves and leave as many flowers as I can. It turns out quite well in the end, but it did take a bit of a while to get around here. These are some new scissors I bought in the last few months, which I'm finding quite helpful as well for jobs like this. So working my way around. As soon as I saw this in the collage book, I thought, oh, I know what I'm going to do with that straight away. That's going to be a rose arch. So yeah, going around, just giving it a cut, finishing off, try and keep it tidy as I go along, and then because put the holes back in. Of course, because I put it back in to see how it was all working and test it out, I suddenly realised, of course, I'm going to have to do the other side. So had I thought about that at the beginning, and of course you're watching this hopefully thinking, oh, I should have done that at the beginning, I'd have thought of this and I'd have just mounted the archway on both sides of the journal page, and then cut it out all in one. But of course I didn't think about that, so here I am. This was a bit of a quicker job though, because of course I'm just cutting a single layer of paper as opposed to paper and card. So I kind of do a rough cut around the edges and then just go in and just take out kind of like the little bit of excess here. A bit later on I do go around the edges. Can't remember what colour I go around the edges now. I think it's a red or something. Just tidy that up, getting all the little nooks and crannies. But I'm pretty pleased with it in the end. Yeah, it looks very tidy. So again, put those holes back in while I think about it. A little bit of extra tidying. So that's kind of like my my rose arch for my lady. I'm just trying out some colours here. So yeah, I've obviously got a bit of a thing for this kind of peachy, pale pinky, kind of salmon pinky colour. Can't really describe it, but it's a very pleasant colour, so I've obviously got a bit of a thing for it because this is the second time I've used it in 2 journal pages. And I find it's just giving that page a bit of a pop. So rather than using, I thought black might be a bit much around the edges in this particular context. So I thought I'll go around with the peachy colour, salmon pinky colour, and that works. And then around the edge here I've used again the Art by Marlene acrylics, and I'm using the dark blue. And again, just so that you can't really see the white core of the paper. And then what I've done here, again from the same collage book, I've cut out the lady. I think I misjudged where my pad was, my craft pad, but so everything's a little bit lower down, but you do eventually see what's going on. So I'm just sticking her down to the journal page. So this is the next journal page along, and it's got one of my other makes on there, which will be in a separate video. So do have a look at that when it comes out. And I picked up another one of the masks here. This mask is fab. It's really, really versatile. And again, I'm using Art by Marlene acrylic paints, and I'm going in with one of her foamy applicators, and just having a bit of a blast with a couple of, I think it's cheesy and the neon pink, and then this is the funk, which is the neon purple, and they're really bright. They're great. I love these neon colours. And I'm just blending them a bit as well, just to give a bit of different colours. So I think this was Ballet. So the difference is the fluorescent pink is kind of more translucent, and Ballet is a little bit more opaque. So it gave quite a good effect in terms of the balance between the two. I haven't gone too much to town because I've got another plan for the other area of the journal page. I'm just giving the craft mat a clean. This is Art by Marlene's craft mat. Again, really super. Easy to keep clean, protects your mat, protects your table, and it doesn't move particularly. And then I'm using another one of the patterns on this stencil. So this is kind of like I think this is kind of a Turkish type pattern. I can't really name it, but I'm sure I've seen something similar when I've been on travels. So I didn't want kind of a blurry effect to this. I wanted it quite crisp, so I've cleaned up the stencil before I've reapplied it on the other side, because I turned the stencil over to get kind of the reverse pattern, so it kind of gives me an archway there. And I'm kind of just messing around, filling some gaps in. And I decided I'd like something down the side, so I've gone in with those little triangle shapes. And on the other side as well, just turn it round and put the triangles down the other side of the page. Oh yes, quite like the contrast here. Then I've decided that I want to fill that space in and continue that pattern at the top. So that's that mask. And then again I decide, okay, I think I need something a bit more, but a different shape. So I use the circle pattern. And this is just a general kind of gesso. I've had this for ages, this big pot. So I'm using this up before I use anything else. So I'm just going around with the circles. Yep, that's great. I think the idea here was to kind of give the idea that she's having lots of bubbly ideas, lots of pops of ideas. So this was supposed to be kind of like to give the idea that she's having a pop of an idea. And these little rubber stamps are also from one of Marlene's previous collections. Really good selection, really great kind of random shapes that are ideal for this type of situation where you just need a little bit something just to make a difference. I've used archival ink so that I can put other things over it and it won't smudge. And because this is a new stamp set, this is her new bold words stamp set, I'm just kind of taking the edge off the clear stamp, just stamping it through on a spare bit of paper before I put it on my main journal page, and then going over those letters with a paint pen. Go through that. It's a really nice selection of words in this bold words stamp set. Very pleased with that. great for kind of journal pages, but also I think quite versatile for making cards with as well. You've got luck there as well. And then I think I bring the white pen out at some point. Yep, going around the edges first. Yep, give it a bit of a frame. So I've got the thick black pen out. So this is, do I get the white pen out now? Yes, so white pen. Go around those letterings just to make them pop a bit. Again, not being too precious, just going around the edges just to kind of give it a bit of shape. And let those letters define themselves against the quite a busy background really, so just let them define. So create art, and she's having lots of ideas coming out of her head. Little pops of ideas. Just a bit of a touch up there. Make it all stand out. And here we are, yep. Okay, so then I think to myself, well, I probably need it's not quite done yet. So I kind of go around her, kind of, yep, go over her eyes just to make sure they stand out. And her earrings, her nose and mouth, and just some flurries around her hair. So this is the rub-ons, so they're from the new collection in August. So these are the rub-ons, and they're fab, absolutely fab, really good adhesion as well, so nice and sticky. It doesn't take too much rubbing to get them to stick down. The way I did it, I kind of cut out the bit that I was interested in. There we are, look, I'm just cutting that piece out so I can just manipulate it where I want it to go. So again, this was kind of like just imagining that she's generating some ideas from her head in her hair. And what I'm using here is the end of an Art by Marlene paintbrush. So the end of the paintbrush is beveled, and it's great for using to get a crease in paper or hold your hair up sometimes. Just twist your hair and put a paintbrush in it. But in this particular case, I used it to rub the put the rub-ons down, and then I put the white on. So she had the same pattern, but one's in white and one's in black. Really kind of echoing the patterns from above. And then this was just some crystal glaze. Again, I've had sitting around the craft room for ages. I just thought it would give it a bit of dimension, so I put some crystal glaze on the letters as well. What this did mean, I did have to just leave it for overnight to let it dry. But I was quite pleased because it just gave it that little bit extra. I'm just going through those triangular pieces, putting some little lines on them to make them stand out, and also kind of join that side piece to the top where all those bubbles are. So I'm just finishing off around the edges again with some white markers, and this is me kind of showing her off. Really great pattern. And then yeah, it's kind of how it's going to work. And I decided that the archway just needed a bit more outlining to make those flowers stand out. So I've used some white pen there just to kind of give them a bit of dimension. Just going around both sides. And yep, some acrylic pen. I think this was a red. This was the red one, and then I think I put lilac or purple in the middle of them. And what I'm doing is just using a bit of tissue to blot them. Again, not being too particular or exact, so going around again as in the dark purple for the centre of the flowers, just going round. And then a few leaves as well, just to make them pop a bit more against the background. And there you have it. This is how it works. Fold it out to the archway. And there she is. A lady with lots of ideas. Thank you for watching.